Hello and welcome to Community Viewpoint. My name is Dr. Christopher Salute, and I want to thank KPVM for having me on here. This is my fourth or fifth show, so if you haven't tuned in before, you're seeing a new face. I'm here today with Emily Roberts, and Emily, aside from having a really great history here in Pahrump, is the new head of the Big Brother Big Sister program right here in Nye County in Pahrump. So I will say this, Emily, I'm terrible with introducing folks, so I'll say, this is Emily, she's a Virgo, but I forget what your title is. So this is Emily Roberts, she's bringing in Big Brother Big Sister. Please, let us know who you are.
Yeah, so I am the Community Outreach and Program Manager for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Nevada. I am the person in charge of making sure that the Big Brothers Big Sisters program in Pahrump happens and reaches the community, but we are connected to the Las Vegas over the hill.
Now, you said something before we were on that I really just want to touch on, and this really will set the tone, I think, for the rest of the 12 and a half minutes. Emily, you had mentioned to me that you are having trouble finding young folks to join Big Brother Big Sister because it's a new program. But we want to remember, Big Brother Big Sister is not new. This is a really, really exciting program that's coming to Pahrump. So what is it, who are you looking for here in Big Brother Big Sister?
So we are looking for families who have children who are at least 6 years of age and under 18 years old who are looking for a positive influence in their life. They could come from non-traditional households, maybe they live with their grandparents, maybe they live with a family member, or maybe they just are struggling with some social skills or some dynamics at school like bullying, where they would really benefit from talking to another party outside of their family. Here in our program, we don't replace family members or any stronghold dynamic in a child's life. We just give a volunteer to support them in our life. Our big focus is to inspire children to reach their full potential. And through research, we found that children reach higher potential in their life when they have a positive influence in their life.
Love that. I mean, not rocket science, right? Good creates good. And I just find that interesting because there are so many folks out here trying to hurt today's youth. Trying to help today's youth should, I think, be rewarded. Now, you have been here, Emily, or your family has been here for some time. You're not new to Pahrump. Can you tell me about that?
No, so my family originally moved here in the early 2010s, so about 15 years. I went to middle school here, graduated from Pahrump Valley High School. I also attended Great Basin Community College, so I graduated from them, and then I moved up to Reno to attend the University of Nevada, Reno. Got a degree in human development and family science because I knew that I wanted to help families and help children in a community dynamic, but that wasn't teaching or social work for me. And so I started at a respite care facility, helping foster teens who couldn't go to a group home. And then I eventually started working for Big Brothers Big Sisters in Reno for about 3.5 years. And then CEO, Kelly Swartz, she reached out to me, she's the CEO in Las Vegas, and asked if I wanted to start a program out in Pahrump for Big Brothers Big Sisters, so that's
Awesome.
what I'm doing now.
She said, come home and bring Big Brothers Big Sisters with you, which is great. I want to thank you so much. So you had mentioned a couple of things that I want to touch on. Supporting volunteers, just so that you know, my fiance Megan and I have already volunteered to become a big brother and a big sister. So get out there, make sure that you're volunteering. How can someone find Big Brothers Big Sisters, and how can they start the enrollment process?
So as far as getting involved with us, we do have an office at the Nye Community Coalition right next to Walmart. But the fastest way to get involved is either to visit our website and submit a questionnaire stating your interest, or to email me directly. And I know my information will be in this. But
awesome. Now, if for whatever reason it's not scrolling across the screen, would I just Google Big Brother Big Sisters Pahrump?
Yes, correct. And we do have a Facebook and Instagram page where you can find a link to either reach out to myself or to our website directly.
Very, very cool. Now, we talked a little bit last time that we had chatted about kind of the activities, which is what excites me, honestly. I just want to hang out with some cool kids and do some fun activities. what can a big brother, big sister, or a little brother or little sister expect to be doing when they join this program?
Good question. So it depends on what program that they join. So a volunteer and child has a choice to either meet with their volunteer out in the community, go out and do something, whether you're going grocery shopping, maybe a child wants to learn more life skills, or maybe do something more fun, like going to the bowling alley, going to Starbucks, getting a drink. I know that there's a couple different gaming centers here, as well as just going to a park. Maybe you have a fur baby of your own that a child might love to meet, and you can go to a dog park and spend some time there. If the child or volunteer wants to join our school-based program, where you would go and meet at the elementary school of the child, you help with homework, maybe you're just playing a board game, eating lunch together, or just simply discussing and supporting them in their endeavors at school. The reason why we have both programs is to meet the children where they are at in their life. Some families have a lot going on after the school day ends, and so that's why we bring our program over to the schools to meet the children there.
Very, very cool. Now you mentioned elementary school age children. What's the age range that that encompasses a little brother or little sister so that their family can register them?
From 6 to 18 years old. Okay. So they could just be starting first grade in elementary or starting their senior year in high school. The most need that we see is about the 12 to 14-year-old old range with little brothers and little sisters, because they're in that really crucial child development stage of figuring out what their next steps in life are and what their goals are.
I was a real wise guy at 12 to 14, so I could have really benefited from this for sure. Emily, this is fantastic, and one of the things that I think about, you know, there are so many folks out here trying to help our youth and help our community. If you are new to Pahrump, or if you just haven't done the research on Pahrump over the past 30 and 40 years, it's really an interesting story about you know, the minds and the different industries and kind of where our youth has come from with regard to there have been so many different issues with crime and drugs and things of that nature. This is one of the few programs that I think will really help our youth kind of build good habits and continue to move on. So we really appreciate you coming here. So Emily, what's the goal? You mentioned off camera, and you can mention again when you started, but what are you looking to do over the next year?
So over the next year, we hope to have at least 20 matches, which is a child and a volunteer together is called a match, meeting out in our community or in our schools. Currently, we have about 7 big volunteers who are waiting to be matched with a child. And we only have 1 family so far interviewed and willing to participate in our program. Now we know that we just got here in about October. We're currently trying to get our name out and find the families that need us. So if any of you have a child who would be interested in just having a positive mentor, it doesn't necessarily need to be out of necessity. I mean, I could have used a mentor growing up. I was an oldest child, so I was the one who talked to myself and then helped my siblings. So even if you just want to have somebody else to talk to and spend some time with and not be at home all day long after school, we're the program that can help accomplish that.
Awesome, and I love that you said that. It's important to note too, for all the programs here in Pahrump, and I think there's a stigma that tends to go with, well, my child doesn't need that. Every child needs more support, whether they're in Pahrump, Vegas, New York, London, Dubai, it doesn't matter. All children need more support, the more the better. I like that you mentioned having children maybe hang out with we have 2 puppies at home, so that'd be great to just wear everyone out at the same time. I need somebody to play video games with because my fiance doesn't play video games, so I think this is great. We had also mentioned doing some things at the college, maybe hosting some programming. So I just think all around it's really exciting. So once you have your 20 matches, which would be about 40 folks, what are the next steps? What do they hear? What's the process look like?
So as far as the process of becoming a big, you would sit down with myself and we'd go through an orientation of sorts of what our program is, what our rules are, more or less the nutshell of who we are. And after that point, I would sit down and I'd have an interview with you for about an hour, just asking the individual about their life, what they've got going on, what their goals for the next year are, just because we expect and we ask all volunteers and families to commit to our program for about a year. any more than a year is amazing. We hope that these mentorships become lifelong mentorships, but we ask for a year just because anything less can actually damage the child's development with feeling like they made an actual friend. I mean, I wouldn't like it if a friend left out of the blue under like a year of knowing them. So after that, after the interview, we have you get background checked. We check CPS reports, sex offender reports. We make sure that we vet you to the most of our ability. And then after that point, it is a one-to-one tailored match. So I go in and look at all the different families that we have, all the different kids and their personality and their interests. And I see what would be a good fit, whether you both like video games, both really are into playing a certain sport or exploring different types of foods. I'll make a match based on what both parties are looking for, and that's what we see as a true success marker in our program amongst other mentoring programs. There's no lottery wheel involved.
Very cool. And you had mentioned, I know that when Megs and I sign up, our littles can hang out. We can all kind of hang out as a group. How does that work?
Yeah, so there is an opportunity. We call them group match activities. Like you said, hopefully in the future, once we have matches, to meet at the college and have some activities. And that is an invite for all of our matches in our program to come and get together and spend some time doing whatever that activity is, whether it's learning, playing a game, doing a craft, and interacting, because not only are we a mentorship program, we are a community for littles to find friends and for bigs to find people as well and not be so alone.
I love that. Very cool. We're talking about a year commitment, folks. Big Brother, Big Sister is here to stay. Emily Roberts needs your help. I'm really excited to have you on the show, Emily, and I really want to implore everybody who's at home watching, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go to the Big Brother, Big Sister Nevada.org website. Check it out. Register to be a big, and or register your child. There's definitely no shortage of positive influence that we can start giving our youth every single day, so we can start to really continue to embrace Pahrump, pick up Pahrump, and grow Pahrump. So Emily, I want to thank you so much. Are there any parting words that you want to make sure that our viewers have?
Yeah, just like you said, we are always searching for more families, but also volunteers in the area. One of the big struggles we have is finding actual male volunteers to help support male children in our community. And a big question we get is, am I good enough? And you are, so.
You are. This is Community Viewpoint with Dr. Christopher Salute. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Community Viewpoint on KVPM. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Salute, and I have a really awesome guest with me today, Ed Kelly from First Choice Safety Training and Nye Communities Coalition. Ed, everyone knows, if you've watched this show before, all dozens of you know this. I'm terrible at introducing folks, so Ed, tell us who you are.
And I paid him to say how awesome I was, so we'll catch up later on that one. So yeah, Ed Kelly with Nye Communities Coalition. I'm the job developer and facilities safety and the brownfields manager there. And then outside of that, I do quite a few other things in the community. I have a business's First Choice Safety Training. We do primarily CPR and first aid training. I teach healthcare individuals and also students that are going into healthcare, thinking about going into healthcare, and then just the lay person, as we call it, the lay person CPR. And it's all American Heart Association, so with certifications, and I believe everybody should know how to do CPR. Whether or not you can perform the compressions or not, at least in an emergency situation, you would be able to instruct someone on how to do it, even if you couldn't keep up with the compressions or not. So.
Absolutely. So Ed, I've been really excited to have you on the show, and I've known you for some time. I know the viewers at home are welcoming or wondering. Tell us about the beard.
So, just got a little lazy in November and tacked it up to No Shave November, and then just into December, I thought I'll keep it till Christmas, and then here it is, still full and thick, and I get more comments on the beard now than I had just the goatee or the mustache or whatever. So just something different.
I didn't think you were going to answer, so thank you.
Yeah.
And it'll be the title of the show.
There you go.
So, again, I'm a lay person. I'm not a health science professional at all. You mentioned a couple of certifications that First Choice does. Can you kind of run through each one?
So The main one that I teach for the healthcare professionals is called Basic Life Support, or BLS for the provider. That's anyone that's in healthcare, CNAs, nurses, medical assistants, phlebotomists, doctors, nurses, all the way up that they need to learn those skills of CPR, but with a BLS, you're normally with a team in a facility. So there's differences between that and the layperson. But that includes, first aid, AED, and it's infant, child, and adult CPR with the AED as well. And then first aid, I can teach first aid separately, or I can include it with the trainings. The trainings that I mainly schedule is the BLS for provider, and then the layperson, I call it it's called Heart Saver Total. So that's infant, adult, child, CPR with AED, and then first aid blended in as well.
Okay, that's a lot. And you mentioned just during your day job, right? You work at the Nine Communities Coalition. You mentioned a couple of cool things. So you're a pretty busy guy. What's going on there?
So first and foremost, the job developing, and so the employers in the community, they're all looking for employees, and to fill their gaps in their whatever it may be, the restaurant, the casino, so we post their jobs for them. The resource room screens the individuals for their skills and the required job requirements, and then we can refer them to the job. We also have an on-the-job training program.
Cool.
So that's a great incentive for employers to utilize our individuals that are applying, because if they're a fit for our program in workforce, we can reimburse wages anywhere from 50 to 75%, and I can push to 90% reimbursements while they're training.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the minimum amount of hours that we can start with is 240 hours. So
very cool.
It's very good benefit for the employers. And then the individuals that get enrolled in our adult workforce program, they also get benefits of, if they need assistance with some fuel to get back and forth to the job until they get their paychecks, we can pay for supportive services. And let's say they need a tool belt and some tools, or they need books, or they need whatever the case may be, supportive services we call them.
Cool.
And then we also have the YouthWorks program. And so with the YouthWorks program, we do what's called a work experience. So the employers, the goal is to just teach these youth that have no work experience, teach them work experience on the job. They become an ICC employee, so we cover all their workers' comp, their Medicare,
awesome.
Social Security, all the good stuff. And then just have these individuals with little or no work experience to learn how to show up on time, how to properly dress for work, how to stay off your phone when you're on the job, how to learn some skills. And then we also can send individuals to occupational skills training as well. We have grant funding, and I always say it's everything from A to Z. So accounting to zoology, that's on our approved list. The list changes, so come on in and take a look at the ETPL, which is the eligible training provider list with Employ NV.
Cool. Wow. Busy guy.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, doing so much for the community. So I want to talk a little bit about your passion, right? The after-hour passion when you're doing first choice safety training.
That's a mouthful.
Right, it is. It is. How do I get involved? How do I sign up for a class? How long does it take? Give me the goods.
So usually the classes are, I tell everybody, just be prepared for 4 hours. Just you can call me, you can text me, you can email me, first choice safety training at outlook.com. My phone number, 775-513-1505, and you can text or call me, and then I'll put you on the list. I have 2 facilities that I am at on Saturdays. The first Saturday every month is over at Great Basin College. And then the third Saturday of the month is at the Pahrump Senior Center down on Basin, not to be confused with the Bob Roode Center at Basin 160. It's the Pahrump Senior Center down between Linda and David, and I'm there the third Saturday every month, providing that I have enough students to teach at both facilities on on those Saturdays, the PLS class starts at 8:30, and then the layperson class starts at 11:30, because we start with first aid and we blend that together.
So put that all in. Very, very cool. So you're looking at about a 4-hour class. Sign up through by texting you. Now, you've been in Pahrump for some time. How'd you get here? Tell us a bit about that.
Long story short, injured doing construction, moved back home with mom and pop while they were coming out here, and never planned on staying here, but I love this community. Raised my 2 sons here. My wife, we're both here, and I trained into the medical field and then just kind of grew from there. I still do home blood draws for
cool.
home patients. I do life insurance exams as a paramedical examiner for the insurance companies. I do specialty blood draws for like Hope Cancer Center and that, where they send them a specialized kit. I draw labs there. Do physicals in the home, mobile EKGs. If you want your blood drawn and you're going to go to Quest, there's a little choice drop-down box you can choose for in-home or in-house. I can't remember how it's worded. And then you can schedule for me to come to your house. My schedule's only open on Tuesday mornings right now for that because of all my other things that I do.
I don't know how you're fitting that even.
But I can always reschedule that to fit it in on other days as well. So if people just can choose the day for Tuesday, and then we can always change that later on.
Wow, really serving the community. And you've been here how long? How many years?
So I came here December of 1989.
Wow.
I bought my place that I'm still at in
1993.
Yeah.
That's great. What side of town are you on?
I'm on the south end of town.
Okay,
Yeah,
very cool.
Couple miles past Lakeside down there.
Amazing. Now you're representing the community in ICC as well as your own business. That's awesome. So I always ask folks, look, you're here, you've got a couple of minutes. What is it that you'd like to see? What do you want?
So I believe deep. I believe that everyone should know how to do CPR because it might be. I'm hoping that the people that I've trained, if I have an emergency, that the individuals that I've trained, if they're around, will help to save my life. It could be a relative, it could be a friend, family member, it could just be anybody out there. But just think about it. I'm a dad, I'm a grandpa, I'm an aunt or an uncle. I have friends and nephews and nieces, and it could be one of them that I'm saving a life. Somebody's mother, grandmother, whatever. So I just feel that everybody needs to learn how to do CPR and do it properly.
Yeah.
Because that's the big thing is to be able to do it properly and have that skill and mindset to be comfortable and ready to go to do it. Jump in.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. I know that I'm going to sign up for one of your courses. I know a lot of our students sign up for your courses as well, and I was astonished at the price. How much does it cost to do the full, full training?
So the lay person is $70. American Heart requires you to have a book now. For the book for that class is only $5.
Okay. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. And then the BLS class for providers, for healthcare providers, that class is $60, and then they can purchase the ebook, the online version of the book, and I believe that's $16.25.
Okay.
But then it's theirs to keep, and they can access it electronically. You can also purchase the layperson ebook as well. A lot of people like to have that hands-on book because you can have that with you anywhere to refer back. You may not be sitting at a computer to look at that electronic version.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, Ed, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and thanks for doing it on short notice as well. So for all those, we're going to flash it across the screen. This is Ed Kelly with First Choice Safety Training, and I couldn't agree more. I'm signing up to one of your classes. I know that our students and our community have taken advantage of it, and he's been here for, 40 years, right? 30-something years.
Now you're going to show how old I am.
Yeah, no, that's what.
This isn't gray hair.
Since birth. He was born here in '89. So it's not like he's going anywhere, right? you can trust Ed. So I really want to thank you for coming on today. You really do serve our community quite a bit. And like I said, it looks like you said you could do 1 or 2 more folks this Saturday, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so you know where to go. Make sure you contact Ed Kelly at First Choice Safety Training. This is Dr. Christopher Salute with Community Viewpoint. Just want to thank you again so much for your time. We're going to keep doing this every week. So if you're not on the show and you have something to add, please feel free to give us a buzz. We're here at KVPM, and every Thursday we're going to be showing you more and more folks from the community. So thanks so much for coming on, Ed.
Yep, you're welcome. And then everybody keep your eye out on the NYCC.org events calendar. There's always something going on with NYCC in the community here to promote our things. So
thanks so much.
Perfect.
Cool. Awesome.